welcome to another episode of the Rough Tackle podcast here, where we discuss everything Ghana Premier League. We'll delve deep into what happened in the previous match week and also preview the games coming up in Matchday 6. And this time, we'll look at some interesting games that will be played, and we'll also look at some games that have been played in the past and what really happened with Heart of Oak and the likes of Heart of Lions all in action. My name is Mutala Yakubu. I've been joined by two of the best brains when it comes to the local scene at the Talk Augustine and the La Day here. Good afternoon, boys.
Good afternoon.
You are not gentlemen, you are boys. Good afternoon, boys.
But what do you mean by you are not gentle?
You are not gentle. I know you, Charlie. You know, but today I can't give you. You know, but today I can't give you that tag of a gentleman.
Pretend small.
You are not a gentleman. Well, Charlie, how be?
Things they cool.
Well,
Augustine way.
But still things.
Right now they chop YouTube money.
Oh, yeah,
He's a big man.
Goalkeeper.
Boys, let's look at Matchday 5 and what happened. I mean, let's start off in Takwa. Medeama were in action against Dreams FC. Everyone thought that it was going to be a bloodbath. Everybody thinks Medeama would beat them like 5 goals, 6 goals. But it proved to be a difficult one for them. But they managed to win 2-1. It looks like Medeama are setting themselves up early as title contenders.
Mutala, if you look at the game or even before the game, then I know it could be quite difficult. Sake of then the media madam are made for try, then they miss like all of them. They're three,
There's no Prince Owusu.
So Prince Owusu then go Black Stars.
Okay.
Where Emmanuel also hits. So Stella 2 hits. So then be new or different try way they come the midfield.
Okay.
Where the media midfield then they dictate play. They control the tempo of the game. They dictate the chances. So
Are they one of the best?
Yes, in
That midfield three.
They are I would actually put them second best. We will talk about the best later in it. So I think they missed them and it went ahead of making the game quite difficult.
Okay.
Of course, Dreams, they have the players. They play very well. So if you are playing against such a side, just that they are finding it quite difficult to score goals this season. And their defense is also quite porous. That's why you realize that even when they are not scoring at the damn best of games, they get to concede. They've conceded in almost every game they've played this season. And it was just sad to see them conceding at the damn best of that game from an own goal by Christian Osu. But the Medeama deserved it because they are doing everything possible. At the TNA Stadium, they've made this stadium their fortress. I think they came there last season. Since they played, I think, 20 home games. They've won about 15, drawn 3, lost just 2 against South African and Chelsea. So if you come to TNA there, everything could be added. You go take.
Dela, you have worked closely with Dreams FC before. Is Winfred Domon the right man for this job? Because it looks like it is proving very difficult. They've played 5 games yet to pick up a win.
Is he the right man? Obviously, yes, because he know if there's anybody in Ghana
who knows Dreams FC
in and out.
He's been there for how many years?
For 5? A very long time, more than 5 years. He was assistant to CK Akono. So imagine when CK Akono was there, when they were in Division 1, he was with CK Akono. They came to Premier League, they went back, he was there. Karim Zito came, he has been the assistant to Zito. They brought in expatriate here. Like he's somebody who knows the team in out and out. But another thing about Dreams now is the establishment that they had with respect to the people around their team. I think it's changing now.
Okay.
And also when it comes to the players that they've always had, one of the few things that Dreams has always boast of was how they've been able to transition the young players into the senior team. But this time around, they've had a couple of few players that have come from the senior team, but the junior team into the senior team. But obviously, they struggle with consistency. And in most cases, what they are very good at is keeping some of the experienced players and adding the young ones into it. Okay. But this time around, it looks like purely an entire new team. And most of the times, Dreams FC try and get good strikers in the league. But this season, I watched them and I realized that they lost
Misbao.
Misbao left them before the season started. Joseph also left.
But there's John Entry who is back.
Yeah, he's
relax. It's now that John Entry didn't do even preseason with them. He just came before the season.
He came like last 2 weeks. He scored in his first game.
And then he scored in his first game. I think it was a penalty.
Yeah.
John, now he's aging. So what you get from him may not be the goals, but the experience and how he tries to put the players together. I look at them and I think this is the Dortmund's proper Premier League where the team will allow him to work. It's tough, and I wish I have a strong soft spot for him. I wish they would give him time. I wish they would be patient. But Dreams themselves, one thing that they always set targets for themselves. I won't be surprised that now there's a couple of games that Dortmund has to play and a couple of points he needs to get. If he fails to get it, no matter what it is, you may be their favorite, but they don't mind bringing in somebody else to come and help you.
All right.
And for me, and also, if you look at maybe inexperience in the technical department, Dortmund has always been with it. I'm not saying he's not experienced, he's experienced.
But they've got in Fifi Parker.
Who is not a Premier League, who will
Yeah.
be coaching the Premier League for the first time.
Yeah.
You know, the Premier League is a bit different. So maybe they need to work on it. And also, just as Augustine said, one of their major problems has been how they've been conceding in games.
Okay.
Obviously, you can't be conceding last minute. And you can't... That's one challenge you face when you have a lot of young players in your team. Lack of concentration and all that. But I'm confident that they will come good, but not against Nations.
Okay, so that is Dreams FC and Medeama. Dreams losing by 2-1. Then there was that game at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex. Nations FC holding Asante Kotoko to a draw. I mean, Karim Zito says that Nations were lucky because the soggy nature of the pitch didn't allow Kotoko to play their best game.
I would understand him at a point, but then I'd also say with what Nations FC have been doing against Kotoko, I think Kotoko were also lucky on that day because we all know it's a word on the street that they're unbeaten against Kotoko in the Ghana Premier League.
So now it's 5 games.
Yes,
where Kotoko no fee score them.
Exactly. So after the 5 games, and it's such that I knew this game was just going to be a draw because Kotoko was coming from, I think, a draw against Atalanta on Sunday.
No, but they had won against Gold Stars in midweek.
Yes, so the draw and then midweek.
Yeah.
Then I think 2 days later, I had to play Nations. And then a team that we find difficult to beat, Okan then decided to go in with a 3-back system.
Yeah.
And then a strong, robust 2 in the midfield. Who would combat those Kotoko midfield and then Lord double. So it's going to be difficult for them. And also, at the point Kotoko had to miss the attacking arsenals, the 2 top scorers for Kotoko missed that game. Kwampoko was not there. Abetam also was not there. So I knew Kotoko was not just going to score. And at the point, I was also convinced that Nation was going to find it difficult to score. Because if Nation, the games that they win, they find it difficult to win games. Against Federal Blacks, they had to concede first. Come back with the brilliance of Emmanuel to score, to win that game. Feza Chaute is out of the team now. Farouk is now finding his feet. Manono paying his due silently with 2 goals this season. But they are still yet to pick that rhythm. And I think that was the best time for Kotoko to meet them. And the draw is a fair result.
Dela, you were at the stadium, you watched the game. I mean, I feel that we didn't get goals because of the soggy nature of the pitch, because there were some good chances that fell to players like Emmanuel Ano. Someone we get against somebody, no, it turn right, go left, then the pack way catch the ball. What do you make of that game?
I think nature really didn't give us the chance to witness a brilliant game. But I've seen a lot of conversations where people feel like the park was really worse. But the truth is that the rain we witnessed there, if it was any other stadium, even a Cross Sports stadium, we wouldn't have been able to even play the football.
Yeah.
It was a very tough rain, and the park has good drainage system. That's why we're even able to go ahead and play the football game. In the past, this season, we've saw a lot of rain-offs in the Premier League. So it's not because the park is bad. It's simply because the rain was too much for the grass. But if you're also going into the game itself, I think it also affected how both teams played, because Nations don't balloon the ball. There's a side that plays the ball on the pitch. They try to possess the ball. But because of the nature of the pitch, the team was forced to go high up the pitch and cross and go high. And one of Kotoko's strengths at the back is air balls. Someone is solid in the air, you always win the ball. Nations,
as you say, Kotoko were very comfortable with how
the pitch
Nations were playing because of the nature of the pitch.
Yes.
So Nations were trying to go longer, and Sambo Neo Ablo,
they will head the ball right now. Like if
and
you can't head,
they are way huge and bigger than
Ano and
so it really favored them.
So yes, that's it. It favored them more than the Nations FC. But obviously, Karim Tito, he will say we're lucky because he's a coach. He also wanted to win, and I think the two of them, they are afraid. Like Karim Tito and Okanse are good friends. So like you could.
So would you say Coach Karim Zito was right to put Albert Amon on the, not even on the bench. Amon was excluded from the team because of the upcoming game against Wydad. But the fans were also frustrated knowing that the league is also something that we must fight for.
But I think Abetama had a little bit discomfort on the Wednesday.
Yeah, but
And then-
coach, I spoke to Coach Karim Zito before the match. He said yes, Almoa could have still played, but it's a precautionary measure.
So
Because,
so as you said, it's a precautionary measure, and then they knew they had.
but you were coming up against a team that you've not beaten before.
So the thing is that I think there's one thing Koto found it difficult to do in a transfer window. That is adding attackers, people who could score goals. Of course, they have Isaac Mita, who is injured.
There's Kwame Poku.
There's
who's
Kwame
injured.
Poku, who is also injured. So they're supposed to either trust either of their young guns, Jordan Ameso or Listwell to come in for them. But I think yes, Zito knows best, and he thinks that the importance of the game against WAG is on a higher level than that against Nations FC.
Okay.
And that's why I said at the point, he's also fortunate to go out at a point.
So that is Nations FC there drawing against Asante Kotoko. One other team that has also found it difficult to score goals is Accra Heart of Oak. It looks like Masoud Didi Dramani is extremely frustrated with the lack of goals. They seem not to find a solution to that, drawing another game against Heart of Lions, and they didn't look like they could score on the day.
You know, football, before you score goals, you need a striker. And a good striker for that.
But they purchased Frank Duku from Vision FC.
Masa.
Hamza is still there.
How many goals has Hamza himself scored ever since he has been a Hartford player?
Oh, about 18.
His first season, he scored 12.
And after
12,
that,
right? And
Yeah.
then, so
Second
16.
season, he scored 4.
So 16.
an entire season, he scored 4.
Yeah.
So he's not, you could clearly tell that he's not your go-to striker. And even when Didi Dramani was joining House of Folk, their major problem has always been who to score goals for them.
Yeah.
And I think even the season that the old man was with them, Watara was with them.
Watara is the old man.
Watara hey.
Let me change. Like, not basically old man, but I just wanted to.
I see.
They always struggle with that. So they struggle to score, and then the opponent will just bypass them and score one goal. And for that, goal scoring is not something that you just pit. I always say it's more difficult to coach a team to score than to coach a team to defend or to possess the ball and keep it. Because goal scoring is more difficult. You need players who understands how to do it. If you look at the guy, I think Prince
Kwabnos.
He was out of the game. His best form was when he was with Gold Stars. He left Gold Stars. He went all the way out and he's back. He doesn't have game time under his leg. He really didn't even do preseason with House of Folk themselves. So Didi Dramani will struggle with the goal scoring. Maybe he needs to start getting it from the midfielders. Because even if you look at the football they play, most of the times they don't create enough chances. As you said, if you watch them play, it looks like they are comfortable with keeping the ball in the midfield, passing the ball around. And until they get a proper goal scorer, I'm trying to look around in the Premier League and see if there's.
Now they can't ask you. Say, looking at the Premier League and the strikers we have around, which player do you think Hartford can bring in January to solve that issue for them?
In the Premier League, it's a big question because I've watched a couple of forwards, but I
only have one player in mind that I thought Hartford should have gone on to sign. Emmanuel Anofo.
I was about to say the same thing. Because I was with Nations, it was difficult for me to mention it. But I think Ano and Chawete are the goal scorers, like good goal scorers that I have seen so far, the matches that I have watched. Because Ano, brilliant goal scorer. Chawete, excellent second.
But there's this boy also at Swedro All Blacks.
Yes, they are forward.
Very good.
Blacks too forward.
Very good striker.
But those boys, there's no way the team will give it to you.
That is the problem.
So maybe unless they look for like some Division 1 boy.
Don't you think when John Entry wanted to come to Ghana, they should have
yes, like
some Takashi?
John Entry would have fit House of Folk perfectly. But John Entry, go bypass Dreams FC then come play for a half.
It looks like the goal scoring problem would be the Achilles heel for House of Folk. If they don't end up winning the league, and that would be the major factor for them.
Last season, House of Folk failed to win the league because they were not able to score goals.
Yes.
And it could continue this season.
It's about not to catch 3 seasons, like the one that we were going relegation to was the same.
Yes. It was the same. But that season, it was just that there was someone who was scoring the goals for them, but that wasn't enough. And that was Hamza Issa. Hamza Issa was the only man scoring the goal. The second season came, Hamza Issa was not able to score the goals, and then there was no one around him who could score.
Their top scorer in the end was Caleb.
No,
I think
no, that was Mauli Wayo.
Mauli
He scored
Wayo, five goals. Yeah.
5.
Okay, so it was a season before that Caleb Abankwa scored
Yes,
like 4.
yes.
So imagine the whole season, the top scorer.
So that's interesting. You come to this season, and for most teams, if the striker is not scoring, you either depend on the attacking midfielders or the wingers. The problem has for classes in, even apart from forwards, was a potent winger. And they are still lacking that. You can't depend on Martin Kakari for a whole season.
Why?
A club like Hearts-of-Oak.
Why?
No, Kakari has not lived up to that expectation of what Hearts-of-Oak requires of a player. Kakari, no. Kakari is not a potent goal scorer.
Don't you think it's because Hearts-of-Oak, none of the managers have been able to give him a consistent run in the team?
So, who brought Kakari? Koopman.
Yes.
Right. Koopman, he was under Koopman.
Mm-hmm.
Then Watara.
Yes.
And they did Amani. Do not let the performance of Kakari during the Ghana Top 4 deceive you. He's a fine player, but he's not a top player to lead Hearts-of-Oak for 34 games in the season. No, he can't.
No, but is he your Albert Amoa?
No.
And this Hearts-of-Oak is playing for.
And if you go to the other side of the flanks, he used to play Enoch Esubontin.
Yeah.
Esubontin is also somehow like Kakari.
And then they score goals.
Yes.
So if you talk, then it means that most of the Hearts-of-Oak forwards are inconsistent.
No, there are no people where they go score.
It's not most of them. One of them.
How many goals Martin Kakari scored in his entire career at Hearts?
I think 2 or so.
And then Enoch Esubontin has scored 1 this season. They've scored twice. Esubontin 1, he's a winger. And that was even their Petri goal against Lebanon one day.
Yeah.
And then Hussein Mohamed. So, yes, there's Martin Kakari there. Prince Osu Kwabena there. Frank Abraduku there. Hamza Issa is also there. George Parku is there. And there are a lot of players there. But they are failing to score for Hearts-of-Oak in games.
But before all these players that you've mentioned, what were their stats last season? Did any of them score like 10 goals?
No.
Frank Duko said, "Well, he didn't score 10 goals in the
He scored twice against Kotoko on the final day.
He scored those 2 goals.
Yes,
against Kotoko. They won at I think 2-1 or 3-1. Yeah.
So it's the decision to get Frank Abraduku was something I didn't understand, because if you lack goal scorers as a team and your striker you had scored 4 goals and you want to upgrade, you don't go and get someone who scored less than the striker you had.
One of the problems I had with Hearts-of-Oak even last season was bringing in that Nations FC striker. Is it
Asamoah
Boateng? I checked his stats and he had not scored even 10 goals. So I don't know why.
I think his first season at Nations.
The season before he's like 11.
The honest is that he's a good scorer.
Yes.
But he's a that back kind of footballer.
Okay.
So he's that kind of players that maybe the pressure at Hearts-of-Oak may get to him. So either you have patience for him, but you know, 1 or 2 teams, they don't go get time. But Nations, can't be name. Because they go manage you. Sometimes he go mess up 2 matches, no problem. Then you go bring him again. Then go can score 2.
Where is that Tamale City striker Hearts-of-Oak brought?
Abdulaziz Adam. He also came in January and he's yet to score a goal. Now I think he has a hand injury, a neck injury. He has been out of the team for some time.
But this is the same Hearts-of-Oak whose fans were super excited over the moon that this time they've recruited well with what they saw in the Ghana Top 4.
So that's why I said, do not let what they showed in the Ghana Top 4.
Yeah, the Ghana Top 4.
Because the Ghana, yes, it's a cup game. And then it is more difficult to play a league than a cup.
So you go play draw like that?
For what did they have? Because they have a solid back.
Yeah, I was about to say it. Fortunately for them,
yes, they have a solid back.
My back sets.
Yeah.
That be the only it's very difficult to break into their team. But when they get to the ball, they go pass around, then they will give you to the. But I would just want to miss some. That be the only thing.
But okay, so it's difficult for them. But for Heart of Lions, it looks like Bashir Hayford is getting the job done in silence. Now they've played 2 away games on the bounce. They've gotten 2 points against 2 of the best clubs. They've played at Sante Kotoko, then get draw. Then play Hearts-of-Oak. It means that the second round they'll be playing Hearts and Kotoko at Bando.
Then yes,
they are going to Gold Stars. And they can easily get a point from that game. What do you make of a Heart of Lions?
So, if you mention Heart of Lions and Bashir Hayford, I think they were meant for each other. You remember last 2 seasons, I think 2023, he was appointed on 21st December.
Yeah. When they were fighting relegation.
Yes. I think after 13 games, they had won none and they had 8 points. And he was appointed. Since then, I think he has accumulated 108 points.
Yeah.
And that's the most points since he was appointed in the league. So if we were to play the league from then to now, Bashir Ford would have won it.
Yeah.
Yes, and he's doing very well. Bashir Ford is someone who understands the Ghanaian football terrain very well. He knows how to get points, where he can get the points, and when he cannot get the points, so he's not stressed. And there's a stage that he has built a team that you can close your eyes and mention about 10 of the 11.
Yes.
You can mention about 10 of the... If you go to his midfield, yes, that's when I come in with the best midfield in Ghana.
When you said, I knew that you were good.
He has the best midfield in Ghana Premier League now. Ismailado
and that
Ismailado, Eche Dogley from Badana in. And then Samobua Makwanza.
What you want to talk? No. So do you want to tell me that midfield trio is better than Lord Hilary Adubo? Is better than Hubert Jewu?
And then who?
What's the name? Oh...
Kotoko, Emmanuel Entry.
Not Emmanuel Entry. Even Emmanuel Entry.
The Lord Hilary we knew.
Or it's better than Karim Hussein and Rafa Amponsa.
Come on.
Oh, yes, that one.
It's better than them. It's better than them.
Why is it?
Make you not individually pick the players. We are not. I'm not talking about individual players.
No, we are talking about
as a unit.
And then we look at them this season.
Charlie, the boy,
and look at them what the 4 years between this season.
The boys they play for the Heart of Lions, them are
Eche Dogley,
Ismailado, and Samobua.
Midfield and they play.
They are doing. The last time,
Eche Dogley boy.
Yeah, solid. Solid guy.
And then Ismailado, no, if you give the pass, you know they go wrong. Go. No. I have to.
Well, so Heart of Lions will be traveling to Gold Stars. So let's get into the Matchday 6 conversation. Medeama playing Samatex on Saturday at 3 p.m. Then there's 11 Wonders against Karela. Dreams FC will take on Nations FC at home.
On Saturday.
Yes, on Saturday. Then on Sunday, there's Brekum Chelsea Heart of Folk. Bechib Vishet Hohoi against Adriana. Swedro All Blacks against Baseke Holy Stars. Then on Monday, Gold Stars against Heart of Lions. Kotoko Young Apostles will not come off because Kotoko will be playing in the CAF Confederation Cup. Let's look at the matches that are coming. That will be on TV first. Medeama Samatex, proper Western Derby. Ibrahim Tanko looking at getting another victory.
So there's Samatex, I think since they got promoted, they are yet to even score a goal at the TNA Park. Yeah. And of course, going to be difficult them once again. They've had a couple of decent points away and they're still unbeaten in the league. They got a point at a bracket, and then they managed to get some clean points. After drawing their first 3 games, they've won back-to-back in their last 2 games. And they seem to be doing under Christopher Nene since he was appointed. But I believe that for TNA, even if you've played 90 minutes, and it's still not full-time yet.
Yeah. Tanko finished second with Accra Lions, moved to Medeama, vowed last season that they are going to challenge for the title. Every week after a game, he talks about the fact that the title is the main priority against Samatex.
Yeah, if you look at Ibrahim Tanko, he has always had it in him that when you look at him, he looks like a coach who can win the league if he has the right environment. Somebody like Karim Zito, for instance. Anytime I look at him, I feel like if he gets the right environment, he can easily win the league. So I think Medeama is a team that presents Tanko an opportunity to excel. Because one, they give you free hands to do their job. Moses Parker is not scared to spend. He has proper structures, like everything is aligned for you to be successful. And I think it's a good environment. That Takwa there's less pressure, there's less distraction. Even the players themselves, when they are there, the distractions don't be plenty like that. Not as much as we be mining town, the baby girls go there, but it don't be like town with distraction like that. So I think it's also one of the reasons why most of their players seems to play well because they don't get distracted. I've been there. I spent like 2 days.
Like Accra, Kumasi, where there are so many distractions.
Plenty there in very calm town. Small, you go rain right now.
It's like being at Abrankesi.
Yes, like the distraction.
No distraction really around. Distraction they there.
Abrankesi be Kumasi.
No, but I come Nations FC before. I've seen how the place is quiet.
Yeah. Like obviously it's quiet by
going
the
to town is fun and
traveling from Kumasi and sense to Abrankasi.
What's to Abrankasi no far like that? But where Medeama is, I think unless you are in the town or you're somebody born and bred there, it's hard for you to. But Kumasi, anybody go to Kumasi boy. So I feel this. Beginning of the season, I tipped them as maybe he will not win the league, but he'll be a type 2 decider or like he'll be a kings maker. And that's something that Medeama should be able to work on. Most of the times, they've always been nearly coming closer.
The nearly boys.
Yeah, exactly. If they can work on
Well, they've won the league once in the last 3 years, but Brekum Chelsea will be coming up against Heart of Folk. Last season, Hearts did the double over them. But I'm sure Samuel Boyd will be smiling knowing Hearts are struggling to score goals. Hearts going to the Golden City Park.
You know, at the point in time, Chelsea used to refer to Tottenham Hotspur, their white hart lane as a 3-point lane.
Yeah.
And it seems Hearts of Oak is also turning Golden City Park into a 3-point lane because the past 2 seasons they've won the games, they're 3-0 and then 1-0. And it's such that they are even yet to concede there since 2021. Yeah. So for Berekum, they have a very good record there. But I believe that Samuel Bodu, after failing to make a key statement against Hearts of Oak, who will be looking at getting this time out, they didn't start the season well. But they played last week, got their first win in the league against Basketball Stars. So I believe that they are in the right momentum and in the right fire to do something better against Hearts of Oak. But of course, it's going to be very difficult to break the defensive solidity of Hearts of Oak. It's going to be quite difficult for Berekum Chelsea, especially after they missed 7 amount. It's been difficult for them this season. But I believe that it's also the best time to meet a club like Berekum Chelsea to get at least a point from them.
Berekum Chelsea will also say it's the best time to meet Hearts of Oak because they are not scoring.
And it's the best time to meet Hearts of Oak because they are not scoring, but you can't score.
Well, which way will this go? Berekum Chelsea at home to Hearts of Oak, who are now struggling for goals, to be honest.
Hearts are not scoring, but that fixture is not a fixture.
And I'm sure Benjamin Nassari will be back in for that game.
He'll be back.
But even away from him, Hearts of Oak, their problem is not defending, goalkeeping or anything. Because even
it be like they believe the back.
No, even without him, they have.
Is it what's the name?
Yakubu, Ransford Mensah. Perhaps be Ali Mohammed or Kunedu.
Ali has been injured for some time.
Ali is injured, so there's
Opan.
Then, but see, even away from that, even their goalkeeping, they have a Solomon Agbasi on the bench who doesn't even play.
They don't trust him enough.
No, but he's not playing because I think they feel.
I feel they don't trust him enough because even against Lions, I thought that was his opportunity.
Yeah, me personally, but the fact that maybe he has been out for almost.
Yeah. I think the injury is playing a part. They feel that he's not really ready.
But I've always said that football is time.
Yeah.
Like if Benjamin Asare is 33, is now the goalkeeper of the Black Stars. Football is time. Just bid your time. Your time will
Would you put Agbesi in post against Chelsea?
I don't think they will put him in post. But if I have any chance, aside Asare, I'll put Agbesi there. But obviously, I'm not because I know Agbesi and I know how brilliant he is. Yeah. Everybody knows that he's one of the best goalkeepers in the Premier League, in as much as he's not even playing. So back to the game, the fixtures itself has not really favored Berekum Chelsea in as much as they are playing at home. Yeah. It's a town that has folk are comfortable playing there. Yeah. And looking at this season where Berekum Chelsea themselves are not really performing well, what is the best that they can do? Can they really beat this Hearts of Oak side? Obviously, may be difficult. Can Hearts of Oak go ahead and beat them? If Hearts of Oak were scoring goals, this is a game that you could easily beat your chest and say that they are going to win.
The Hearts of Oak thing at the watch now. It's not about just not scoring. They are not even creating
that's the
clear chances for them to
create a chance to even miss.
And Masoud Didi Dramani has said it several times. Even Bashir Eford has said it. That the scary part is if your team is not creating the chances.
That one is more dangerous.
It's more dangerous. If they are creating and they are not scoring, it's
I always used to say
against Hearts of Lions, how many chances did they create?
But I used to say that the good thing about the Black Stars then was they were creating but they were not scoring. So once you start scoring,
then Hearts of Oak have dominated almost all the games they've played.
Yes, even against Dreams, they played everything, had to just score last minute. I think that was
I think I scored earlier in the game.
Yes,
and then they had to defend.
Until the end. Like own goal was a Sunday, they didn't get scored. Like then really they struggle with the goals, and that Golden City Park, at least. It looks like a draw written all over the game.
Okay, so then there's a game at the Dance Park. Baby Gold Stars will be taking on Hearts of Lions. Bashir Hefo says that it's been a good time for Hearts of Lions because of the 3 away games they've played. 2 draws against Hearts Kotoko, coming up against a Gold Star side that are bruised, losing their last 2 games against Kotoko Vision FC. Do not have a substantive coach at the moment. Can Lions really steal something from there?
With the current state of Gold Stars, I think Lions can actually match them both for both and in their always to get their points from the Dance because you mentioned how Gold Stars is the skeleton of the team just a few minutes, some few seconds ago, and I think that Heart of Lions can actually pounce on that and then they do better. And it's quite good for Heart of Lions. 3 away games on the bounce and these are all against teams that you could trust when it comes to title contention.
Yeah.
They've gotten draws in the first 2 games and then this is the third one. Even the last season, I think they were beaten 3-0 there in the dance park. That's obviously because the Bien Good Stars team had their eyes set on a title.
And
Yes, now it's a different story. You look at the Bien Good Stars team, and though they maintained quite the foundation of the team, but then there are quite some loopholes. I don't know if Michael Nkwan is back after his injury against Red Raw Blacks, and they are finding it difficult to score. Takumi, if not for a penalty, it's very difficult for him to score. There's this Burkina Faso striker, he's yet to score. There's this guy from Kotoko, Samson Eduku, is yet to score. So they also find it difficult to score anyways. So I believe that with the kind of football I've seen Heart of Lions play, because I've watched them back-to-back, Kumasi and Accra, I believe that they could actually get good results.
Well, let's look at other fixtures. 11 Wonders, Karela, Odati Lamte still in search of his first win.
Where is that game going to be played?
Swedru Sports Stadium. They've lost one. So already.
11 Wonders they play.
Yeah. The last game they played for there against Young Apostles. They
They play the ball for Techiman then.
Nobody knows. So back to the Swedru Sports Stadium. They are coming up against a Karela side that has also recruited well.
May I tell you something? I want everybody go check this. The Ghana Premier League there. Every team that has gone on relegation or has battled with relegation is a side that doesn't have a definite home ground.
I agree.
Accra Lions.
Not
So we can start. We can start mentioning
Lions nearly went to relegation
yes,
because they were not playing against. Yeah.
As folk nearly went on relegation when they were playing Legon.
When they
even at the point Kumasi.
It's very true.
If you don't have a definite home ground, you go relegation sim. What do these people they do? Them buy the team, then they carry the team go relegation again. And for me, that is the disturbing part because 11 Wonders had good potentials when they were in Division 1. The people that
I saw that playoff game at the Accra Sports Stadium, the one that qualified them. And they played some very exciting football. Even against us, the last 15 minutes of that game, they carry that game. You see the ball them play.
They had good potentials. Like everything was aligning well for them to come and compete. Well.
So you think it was unwise to bring the team from Techiman?
Oh, yes,
you would have.
You can't advise a rich man, but obviously.
That's true.
Me, I thought they were going to play maybe one season to gain grounds before they move.
Because Accra now they ban only park. And you'll be saying you get park for a year.
But they were targeting University of Ghana.
And now you say, oh dear. Like you know, be your park.
Charlie, 11 Wonders, do you see hope for them?
So I think 11 Wonders they did.
Did they play Karela?
Yes, 11 Wonders did a lot of things wrong, and it will really worry them. The first thing is that moving the team from Techiman to here, and I believe that they should have maintained that team, that 11 Wonders team. Desmond Bafo has now moved to Medeama, and there's this right back Ahmed Farouk. And sometimes he's not even part of the team this season, and he has not even gotten a playing time yet. It's quite difficult for them, and the kind of manager they appointed to make sure they stay in the league, to me, was a bad decision.
Odati
Lamte.
Why?
I'm not saying it's a bad coach, but the Ghana Premier League.
He has not been active in the league.
There's a reason why Legon Cities had to stay in the Ghana Premier League for about the last 3 seasons because they had good managers.
Yes.
Right? There are some managers that they could command a stay in the Ghana Premier League. And that is not...
They know how to stay in the Ghana
Premier League.
Yes,
and that's
not... There was no way Max Okoro will go relegation.
And this man... They don't go on relegation.
They know how to survive.
They know how to survive.
They know how to play.
If you go for that, he's someone who is also trying to make a case for himself in the Ghanaian Premier League. And it's difficult for a team that is also team and the same Fifi.
Uber AstroTurf, Dreams FC, Nations FC.
That's a tough match. Wow. There isn't. The stakes are very high because
Dreams are still in search of their first win,
and Nations too have not really started.
Yeah.
So the stakes are very high in that game. And Tuba is a ground that Nations don't struggle to play. Last season they beat House of Folk there and beat Dreams FC too at that same ground. So
I remember that famous goal scored by
and for Razak himself, he's looking at perhaps repeating that again.
Yeah.
And if you look at Nations themselves as a team, they are searching for consistent
Tuba University of Ghana, if they play for there, I see it as a neutral ground. It's like anything can come there and play you. Because, it's not your permanent home.
So you don't really have that home advantage like that. And the fans that are coming, they are just coming to watch ball. They're not coming to support you. You get that what I'm talking about. So the other one F and I know start to support you because the auto ticket no they share ball.
Well, so big one. Dreams Nations.
Tough game, like it's going to be a very tough.
One game that I wouldn't want to miss. I would want to know what exactly happened. Hoho United home to Adriana. It looks like Hoho are beginning to understand that if you want to survive in the Ghana Premier League, win games at home.
Hoho is going to beat Adriana at home. This is why. Adriana have played 2 games away this season. Against Karade, they lost by a goal to nil. And then against Samatex, they also lost that game by a goal to nil. And it is such that Adriana have put it at the back of their minds that irrespective of how bad they had this season, they need to find a win and get wins at home.
At home.
But when they travel, it is difficult for them.
Away travel.
Yes. And then Hoho United to almost imagine say, for Hoho you ship you. Look at what happened to this team. Was it Swede All Blacks?
All Blacks.
Yes.
They beat Karela and they beat All Blacks. All scoring three or more goals.
So that's 6 in 2 games. And then I think they played a draw, 1-1 draw with Young Apostles.
I've been at the Hoho Stadium and I can tell you, if they are able to get even half of the stadium filled every single
I say half of Lions.
But it's not even half. The stadium is always filled. The atmosphere might even intimidate you.
Yeah.
Those people, they like ball.
It's not as if they have the best players, but the atmosphere will intimidate you.
So when you consider all these things, if Adriana wasn't able to pick a point at an empty Tamale stadium, at virtually an empty Samatex stadium, I think that was even on a Monday morning.
Yeah.
They couldn't even pick a point. I think it's going to be a tough mountain for them to climb.
One team that Apeja says that one team that should know or should put it at the back of their minds that if you don't start picking points at home, you will go back to Division 1. You spent 16 years in Division 1. All Blacks, they are playing Baseke Holy Stars. Their last game at home, they lost to Gold Stars by a goal to nil. Then they traveled to Hohoi and lost again. They are coming back.
If they don't win this match,
their head coach Fatih says that they are playing exciting football. We are playing exciting football. Yeah, they are dominating games. But
he should go and ask Accra Lions.
But against Bekum Chelsea, they scored 3.
Yes.
But they are playing very good football. It's exciting. Like when they play and they get the ball, you can see this whole stadium in cheers and all that. But I say, ball for Feni and Fanya for Ghana Premier League.
Ball for Feni, one of the ball for Fajr League that even in Europe, you have to be productive. Productive football wins results, not beautiful fine football. If you're able to get your productiveness from your fine football, praise the Lord, like Pep Guardiola and the like. But sometimes you have to grind the results and win. And I think that's what they are doing now. For me, I would say this is a game that if they don't win, because Baseke at your home grounds, these are opponents that you should add to your winning. If they don't win against Baseke, I don't really think they want to stay in the league.
Charlie, they've also recruited well. They look like a very organized club with the administrative duties and all that. But it looks like they need to understand the Ghana Premier League is all about winning games at home because you don't know what will happen when you travel.
I think it is not about the club who doesn't understand, but the technical team, the coach especially, because he's an Egyptian, he just came, and then I think they should just sit him down and say, Chairman, language don't become better. Someone can say, Chairman, in the Ghana Premier League, it's about winning games at home. And this is their first season. Of course, other clubs are doing well, even in away. So if you just want to stay, play safe, win at home, and then do well, because I think the other home game they beat Bekum Chelsea by 3 goals to nil, and then they lost. And I think this game is a must-win. We won't entertain any ball fair in 0 point or 1 point.
Then one final game for Matchday 6, Bechim United at home. They have also not started the season well. Kasimengo Koy and Aso they are coming up against Vision FC, who seem to have picked up since their coach returned from that.
Because when I looked at Vision, I always knew that they were going to struggle because he was the lifeline of the team. And remember that Kotoko has gone for the assistant coach too.
Hamza.
Hamza was. And Kotoko's assistant coach had gone there. As Wilson Burton is there.
As Wilson is rather. So it was a swap. Because I know Hamza has left. Yeah. So and they've brought in Alfred Nelson, formerly of Hoho United. He's now part of the back room.
Yeah. So I knew that once it was Japan, or was it? Once he was not around, they're always going to struggle because he understands the team kind of well. And for me, they are also one of the sides that understands what to do to stay in the league. And for me, I think they are doing that basically well. For Bechem United, I think Mengo was an institution and they've struggled with even getting the right appointment.
Yeah.
And that has always been the challenge. Once you're not able to get the right appointment, you struggle. And also, they are now trying to get their forwards to come together. I've seen Augustine Okra come back. He's somebody that needs a lot of time to settle into the team to be able to start playing. They are a side that may not obviously go on relegation, but they will need some games to put themselves together. I mean, last season themselves, they didn't really start quite coming.
Okay, Sinoka Day, but Aminu has yet to he's yet to play a game or so.
Yeah, I mean,
But
not played in a game.
But mind, there's one young forward, Dalvin here, boy. I think he has
Dalvin
twice this season, and with him they have no excuse than to just get a good point against Vision FC. We know Vision not to be too good on the road, but when it comes to Manu Town, they will take. So they just make sure and get that good result against Vision at
5 games played in the Ghana Premier League. Quick one: who has been your most exciting player?
Exciting player,
or the player you've been impressed with most?
Wow. I'm trying to look. I think I am impressed with the former Banana in player.
Eche Dogli.
I think he's kind of excellent. Because if you look at what he's been doing, like nobody gave him a doctor. But after watching him at the top 4, I knew that he's a young champion.
What about you?
Then
okay.
If I'm trying to be biased, I think I like how Yano has started. Last season, he joined the team in the middle of the season. And this season, he has really started coming.
What about you?
I think I would go to Medeama, even though we've not seen much of him. But the times that we've seen him, he has been very fine this season. Yeah. So I think I'll give it to
Medeama. Okay, so this is where we call it a wrap with the Rough Tackle podcast for Matchday. So look forward to all the games that will be live on TV3 and on Yat TV. Starting on Saturday, where Medeama will come up against Samatex at 3 p.m. Then on Sunday, there's Brecum Chelsea against Hearts of Oak. On Monday, that is where we'll wrap up our coverage with Gold Stars against Hearts of Lions. You can also follow the GPL across all socials. At IG, it is Ghana Premier League _ Facebook is Ghana Premier League. On X, it is Ghana Premier League. And you can also watch live games on adesa+.com. My name is Mutala Yakubu. Thanks to Dela and Augustine. See you for Matchday.